If you'd like to win a copy of this one, just let me know in the comments your thoughts. Be as honest as you like. We've had a couple of winners not see that they've won over the last couple of months, and then obviously that has to go to someone else. And make sure your notifications are on. The Switch is rapidly becoming the, what would you call it, the life sim platform. Stardew Valley, Valkyrian Ark, that paleo game that popped up in the Direct. And now today we have Everdream Valley. Valley is a prerequisite for any title with this type of mechanic in it, and we have to thank Untold Tales who wanted us to showcase this one on the channel and just tell you everything about it. With that said, I've also got to thank my daughter. She has been absolutely smashing it, and we've reached that slightly awkward time where she kind of knows more than I do. Alright, Everdream Valley, what's it all about? Well, let's find out. School is out for summer, and once you've created your character, it's time to set off to your grandparents' quaint little farm, which is a dilapidated state. There's trash everywhere, weeds, the crops aren't where they should be, in fact the chickens aren't where they should be, and the world map is pretty massive for this style of game. That's the setup, and then you'll get down to work. Before I go too much in depth with gameplay, the build that I've been using unfortunately is version 1.0. There is a gigantic day one patch to improve things like the performance and literally hundreds of other small issues. I think that's important just because some of the footage you will see won't be that version, but if I can, I'll get up in the morning on my birthday and add a bit of the new footage on top. You'll be able to see the build number in the corner. Now you control your character directly. This world allows you complete freedom from the get-go. You can move and gradually unlock the fog of war which fills the map, and like Animal Crossing, you'll need certain tools and abilities to unlock further islands by fixing bridges using things like nails. An interesting mechanic straight away are that your grandparents will go around and do little jobs, and they'll also gather items and ingredients, but they'll gather relational to how much you yourself do. So if you do more work, they'll actually collect more stuff. You've got a stamina bar which you can see in the corner. This can be supplemented by cooking or eating the various mushrooms and apples you've gathered off the ground, but you can pick absolutely everything up. Grab an apple off the ground, grab a bench, grab 50 logs. You won't spend a huge amount of time worrying about inventory management, although you can chuck a load of stuff in the chest in the barn if you want to make sure things are nice and tidy. Now the farm, as I said, is a complete state. You'll need to use the various tools dotted around to fix it up, fixing fences, cleaning up rubbish. You become a total dog's body, but thankfully you actually have a dog and they're also very helpful. You can pet them, which it has to be said every game should have in it. Give them a name. You can name your cat in there as well, and I sat through an ecstatic 9-year-old who spent, no joke, 22 minutes choosing which type of dog she wanted. If I hear the words "oh it's so cute" one more time, I'm gonna have to retire. There are other animals that can be lured, shall we say, and kept on your farm, or you can go to the trader and make purchases of animals. And then we have the mini games. So if you find yourself in possession of a lovely dairy cow, then you, like me, might walk into the room and have this happen.
Oh, it's horrible! What are you doing, fella? Oh no! That's disgusting.
There are a ton of little mini games that I didn't expect to see, from milking the cow to having to cook dishes by actually spinning the frying pan around. Some of them are a little janky, but they're also very cool and they make those more mundane tasks much more interesting. Now the world exploration, as mentioned, lets you do essentially what you want to do, but there are lots of quests that will be pinned onto the map. You can also place your own pins if there's specific items that you want to go after, such as the elusive llama or going to get a load of toads, don't ask. But those quests fill a book which you can then manually bring up on the left side of the screen, and they range from replanting your orchards and essentially gradually guide you through the basic mechanics of the title. Now Everdream Valley is from a smaller team. This isn't Animal Crossing, and as such it doesn't come with that level of polish, but just speaking to the developers, they legitimately care about this title, and that's really showed as I've drilled down into what's below those basic farming elements, below the standard planting, getting water from the well, all of that stuff that you're so used to. What I don't expect are the significantly higher numbers of animals than I think I've seen in any farming game in a long time. You've got your pigs, your cows, your chickens, but then there's ducks, goats, alpacas, horses, sheep, bees, wild boar, and about 20 others, each kind of living out their lives, but which can also be brought across to your farm. And it's actually something I said with the Fae Farm video I did the other day. These sandbox adventures, they rely on the tertiary activities. Sure, you've got your side quests, you've got your main quests, but it's what you do in your downtime that really affects your overall experience. I'm not gonna lie, I spent around about 25 minutes just catching frogs. They sell for top dollar, man, don't judge me. But then you'd be fishing, unlocking new outfits and just going around with those, building different bits of furniture. There's treasure hunting in here as well, and it expands and expands. I think in the 10 or so hours she was playing it, she ended up keeping bees and had one of those smoke guns, but had made a serious amount of cash at the traders just selling off different items. There is a full currency in here as you'd expect, although it doesn't have quite the time pressure that a lot of games have. It's very relaxed in terms of its pacing. At night time you can go back to your house, which will see you sleep until the morning, but if you stay out then, well, you'll either encounter a few wolves or there's this almost dreamlike mechanic that I don't really want to spoil because it is very cool. There's also a bit of an environmental photography element here, where you can fill out a journal taking photos of all the different animals, different wildlife, trees and plants, and it will gradually complete that. There are a couple of quests already that I've experienced where you literally just have to go to a location and try and take the best photograph. There's a statistics screen that will keep a track of absolutely everything you do, from the number of steps you take to how many frogs you've captured. That's embarrassing. To the money that you've earned. My word, 26 grand, even down to the amount of jumps that you've made or the fights that you've lost with geese. Yeah, there is kind of a bit of combat here. Those geese are aggressive. They'll give you some real jip. Everdream Valley is a deep and relaxing sim life game that is going to appeal to fans of cozy titles, and I do hope the developer continue to support and improve the experience. Visually, well, it's fully 3D. There are some quite lovely looking environments. You will notice some pop-in. As I say, I've been playing an earlier build and it looks like the patch notes for the new one include quite a few fixes and some performance boosts, but I do like the overall aesthetic. I'm also pleased to say that the world map is very large, and it is quite impressive what smaller teams of indie devs can do now. Acoustically speaking, things are quite charming. That is, until you find yourself in possession of 40 chickens and a ridiculous number of sheep, and my goodness, that farm does get quite noisy, but I guess you can't really complain about that, can you? There's no voice acting here. There also isn't a text size option at the moment, which is something I would love to see them implement. It's fine for my eyes, but some of you may find the text a little bit small, but they are adding in gyroscopic controls, and that should be in the day one patch. You'll know, hopefully, by the footage on the screen, but I love to see it. You know that. I think I've got a problem. So that's essentially Everdream Valley in a nutshell. If there are any questions that you have, let me know. As far as prices go, it has a 20% discount here in the UK, taking it down to £17.99 until July the 22nd, and the whole thing fits into a 780 megabyte download, which is nothing really. For completion times, well, you're looking at about 20 to 25 hours, but that would be the bare minimum. Now, alongside the standard 20% discount, which starts on June the 23rd and ends on July the 22nd in the EU, or the 23rd and ending on the 14th in North America, there's also an owner's discount. So if you own one of the Untold Tales games, then that entitles you to 40% off the RRP, taking this down to 15 quid, which is a real bargain. Again, the owner's discount will start on the 23rd of June and it will end on July the 30th if you're in the EU regions, and it ends on July the 23rd if you're in North America. Oh, and I totally forgot, you can ride a pig, so you know, definitely gets more points for that one. A thanks to the publisher for sponsoring this episode. As I said at the start, if you want to win a copy, just let us know your favourite farming sim. We've had so many recently, but this one definitely has that chill, relaxed pace, but also with a load of depth going on. We're going to have to create a new channel called CozyUp. Man, that sounds terrible. Thanks to our Patreons and our members and all of you. If you want to save yourself 10% on the eShop for June, you can use our code SwitchUp. It'll give you 5% off instantly when you buy your eShop credit, and it'll also give you 5% back in SwitchUp coins. All that's left to say is, for all things Switch all the time, keep it Switch Up. Cheers, guys. See ya! Oh, that was quite a nice one. Do that in the valley.